Hey guys, so a little bit of a different video for you today. Sorry that you can see my ring light reflected in my glasses. It's something that's irritating me, so I hope it's not irritating you. But a little bit of a different video in that I'm doing a book unhaul. Recently, the state of my room because of books is ridiculous. I have stacks and stacks of books on the floor that I cannot fit onto shelves anymore, so I've decided that a time has come where I really need to do another book cleanse. I haven't done one for a couple of years, and I know there is books on my shelves that either I didn't like, have been sent to me and are not really my thing, or books that I've bought and I've read the first book and not enjoyed the sequels, etc, etc. So I really need to go through and have a proper declutter of books that, to be honest, are wasted sitting on my shelves that I am never going to read. I would rather pass them on to people that will read them, or probably donate them to a charity shop that I sort of believe in. There's a local charity shop to me that is actually dedicated to Staffordshire Bull Terriers. Rosie, my dog, is a Staffordshire Bull Terrier, and it's a breed that I feel is portrayed incorrectly in the media. There's a lot of them in shelters and things that I feel shouldn't be. They have a reputation here in the UK, and possibly they come under sort of like pit bulls do in America. They have this stigma attached to them that they're vicious dogs, and they're not. It depends on who owns them. It's the same with any dog. It depends on who owns them and what they do with them to how the dog is, but they have an awful reputation, and there's a charity shop not far from me that is, well, it was, I hope it's still there, that deals and is for Staffordshire Bull Terriers. There's one also nearby that's for greyhounds as well. There is also obviously the RSPCA and things like that, but I want to donate them if they'll accept them to the Staffordshire Bull Terrier charity. So that's my plan for these books. So I've gone through them, and this is the box that I have. It's quite a box, just a random box that I dug out to shove some books in. I stole it from work. So I wanted to go through more and get rid of more, but this is all that I can actually physically fit in this box for now. So I do plan to get rid of more, and I'm sorry if you're shaking as well. I am on the bed because there's no room on my floor at the moment. So this is the books that I've gone through so far that I am getting rid of. The first one is Valley of the Dolls by Jacqueline Suzanne. This is one that I was sent for review, and to be honest, does not sound like my kind of thing. I think it's set in sort of like Hollywood, like the top sort of Hollywood glitz glam industry, the entertainment industry, and I think it's like about women and stuff that get hooked on pills and vodka and stuff like that. To be honest, not my kind of book. It is very pretty with this black and pink edges. It's very nice, but to be honest, I'm not going to read it. It's a modern classic apparently. That this is the 50th anniversary edition of it, but I'm never going to read it. Same with Never Bite a Boy on the First Date by Tamara Summers. This is like a young adult book that I've never even considered picking up really since I got it. I think it's supposed to be a cute, funny vampire read, but I'm unlikely to read that. This has been on my shelf for a really long time. Ash by Melinda Lowe. I think it's an LGBT retelling of Cinderella, but yeah, I've never in the whole time that I've had this picked it up. A beautiful holographic sort of cover, but again, never gone to pick it up. The next two books are sort of a book and its sequel. The first one is Burn Mark by Laura Powell. I remember being really excited for this book, and then I read it and it was painful for me to read. This was sort of back when I first started getting books for review. I think this was one of my first proofs, and as I was reading it I was like, I was really upset that I wasn't enjoying it. It's about a world in which witches are sort of banned, I think, or they're burnt at the stake, and it's about a girl who really wants to be a witch and a boy whose father is like a chief witch hunter, and he ends up being a witch. but I remember it being very slow, the writing very painful, didn't really connect to the characters, and I was so upset that I ended up not enjoying this. And I was sent the sequel, which is Witchfire, and as you can tell, I never picked it up. Next in my little box I have Heaven by Christoph Marzi. I remember picking this up years and years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, if not more than that. And this was one that I did read, and I don't know, I found it odd. I think it's translated from German, and I don't know if just something was lost in the translation, but I didn't really connect with it. It's about a girl who's lost her heart, and this boy who helps her. There's big mystery, and to be honest, I didn't really enjoy it at the time, so I have no idea why I've kept it all these years. I don't know how it missed the last book to clear out. And then the next 3 will seem a bit weird, but I have Clash of Kings, and then I have Game of Thrones, Storm of Swords Part 1 and Part 2. I'm not getting rid of my actual Game of Thrones, the first book, because I did start reading that and I have got my bookmark in it and I am kind of there, but I have no idea if I am actually ever going to finish it. And to be honest, my brother has the whole box set of these, so if I ever did want to pick them up, I could either borrow his, or to be honest, with books like this, I might just, if I am really into it, get it on my Kindle, but I highly doubt I'm ever going to pick these up, which is a shame. But you know, I haven't even finished Game of Thrones, and I was reading that 4, 5, even, I don't know, back when I was in college, so God knows, that's at least 4 or 5 years that I haven't picked it up since, so it's unlikely I'm going to get to those anytime soon. Next up I have All Wound Up, play-by-play novel by Jackie Burton. I think I started to read this and then I wasn't really into it. It's sort of a romance book that's set around sport, and to be honest, I didn't get into it when I picked it up, so I highly doubt that I will pick it up again. Then I have Sophie and Carter by Chelsea Fine. I actually love this. It's a very short book. You'd get it read in like under an hour. But I have 2 copies of this, so I'm going to put one to get rid of. But the copy I have, I am keeping a copy because I really enjoyed it. It's very short and sweet. There was nothing that I didn't like about it, but I don't need 2 copies, so I'm getting rid of one of them. I'm getting rid of Jessie Hearts NYC by Kara Staton. Funny fact, this is the first book that I ever won in a Goodreads giveaway. I think I've only ever won 2 books in a Goodreads giveaway. And I think I held on to this for that reason, for the nostalgia of having won a Goodreads giveaway. But to be honest, I didn't enjoy the book, so I don't know why I kept it other than that. Yeah, it's about a girl who's just arrived in New York, hoping to forget about her awful ex. New Yorker Finn is in love with his best friend's girlfriend. They might be perfect together. Blah, blah, blah. Didn't really enjoy it. Didn't really. I have Listening for Luca by Suzanne LaFleur. This is one that randomly showed up for review and is just one that I've never had really an interest in. I've got He's Just Not That Into You. I never even watched the movie. I think I bought this because I was gonna watch the movie. But yeah, never picked it up. The Eternal Ones by Kristen Miller. This is another one a little bit like Heaven. I swear that when I picked it up I didn't enjoy it, and I think a big part of me keeping hold of it for as long as I did is I loved this cover when I got it. This was back when I first started reading sort of paranormal kind of YA, after I read Twilight, and I was like in the, ooh, what does Amazon recommend? Ooh, what does Goodreads recommend? And I just bought them because they were recommended to me because I liked Twilight. And I remember being a little bit weirded out by this one. It's like, have you ever fallen in love at first sight? Do you long for a place you've never been? Do you often experience the sensation of deja vu? And I'm pretty sure it's all about past lives and stuff like that, but I remember not really being into it, so I'm going to pass that on. And then I have 3 books that were sent to me from Chocolate, and I've enjoyed quite a lot of their books. I used to be sent quite a few of theirs for review, but these were 3 that I tried to pick up and read and didn't really get into, so I never really I've not read them. So I've got A Bargain Struck by Liz Harris, Close to the Wind by Zaina Bell, and The Reluctant Bride by Beverly Eakely. No idea, but they're ones that, yeah, I'm probably never gonna read. So that's all for this book unhaul. Like I said, there will probably be another one in the near future, purely because I do want to declutter my shelves. It's still really hard for me to get rid of books. Something in me just doesn't like to part with them. I don't know what it is. Even books that I haven't really enjoyed, still getting rid of them is quite hard. I don't know why, I don't know what it is. I admire people like Charlie from Duvet Devours, who regularly goes through her shelves, and she actually now like sort of sells them on Facebook. I really admire her for being able to just regularly go through her shelves and be like, I don't want that, I don't want that, I don't want that, because it's something I really struggle to do. So I was actually thinking before I went through my shelves, like, oh no, I don't read that, and oh no, I didn't like that, before I went through them, so I could like prepare myself. But I know that there is much more left to do. So that's everything for now, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Happy reading.